Welcome you back to the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. He's Rogers, I'm Patrick, and we're pleased to welcome in, making her triumphant return to the LPGA Tour after 9 years off, Meredith Duncan, the golf coach at Byrd, assistant basketball coach, who managed to qualify and get into the Volunteers of America Classic over in Dallas-Fort Worth, and went out and played a little bit and got to go over and actually watch her a little bit. Mare, how are you?
I'm great, Patrick. What's going on with you?
We're just sitting here watching baseball and chatting about sports, and really more than anything, chatting about non-sports, which is what we do best. All right, so walk me back to sort of the beginning of this. What kind of got the idea in your head, and you decided, you know what, maybe this is something I want to go pursue, trying to make it to another event on the LPGA Tour?
Well, I'm still a member of the tour, and I still pay dues and everything, and but I play a lot with my Byrd kids, not just my Byrd kids. I play a lot with everybody, especially in the spring and early summer, with all those kids, and just playing with them and knocking it around and chipping and putting. And a couple of them had said, why are you not playing? This is dumb. Why are you not playing? I'm like, y'all, this is, it's a lot different me coming out here and chipping and putting with y'all or playing with y'all than actually playing and keeping my own score and walking and the whole thing. And so a couple of them had said, why don't you just look, go try to qualify? And I was like, okay, let me look at the schedule. So, I coach basketball too at Byrd, and so I looked at the schedule, and that week there was nothing going on. My nephew David plays baseball at Byrd and plays baseball all over, and so looking at his schedule, and there was nothing going on, nothing on my calendar. So I thought, you know what, I'll put my name in to do the Monday qualifier. And I thought, I'll go over to the Monday qualifier, see some friends, just kind of hang out. Well, when the field started filling up, it didn't fill up with current players. Mm-hmm. So it goes down to, Class A veteran status, which is what I have. And a friend of mine called and said, hey, you're in. I'm like, wait, what? She goes, you're in the tournament. I was like, oh, God, okay, let me go practice.
Yeah, might be a good idea. Did we lose her? I think I just heard her phone make a crazy sound.
It did. It's blinking red still. But...
Well, I think we may have
Can
lost
you hear me?
her. No, there we go. Now we got you back. All right, so you go, you find out you qualified. Obviously, it means, all right, you need to practice. But, look, there's a huge difference between kind of going out on the course, walking with folks, riding in the cart, that kind of thing, and going out there, being competitive, having to mentally focus for the amount of time that you have to do that. Was that the most challenging part that you found once you got back out there, was the whole having to really lock back in for an entire round?
Yeah, it really was, and
wonder where she is. Is she in Kansas with Dennis Dodd? Got Dennis Dodd. There you go. Sorry, we lost you there for a second. Go ahead.
Oh, it was stifling hot, very, very hot. Mm-hmm. So that, I still walk 18 holes, and when it's that hot in Shreveport, I definitely don't go out and walk on purpose. So that was kind of a challenge. But I had one of my former players, Jake Marler, who plays at ULL. I had him caddying for me, and he kept it light and fun, and so it was just a really awesome thing to do.
Yeah, and you came out 5 over on the first round, but then you started off the second round really well. You got an early birdie, racked up a bunch of pars. Obviously
that was because you were there.
Of course, yes, that's
yeah.
Clearly
and then you left.
Clearly, yeah.
Then you left.
Then I left, right?
And then you left.
Well, let me tell you something. You talk about heat and not being able to walk 18 holes. I got to about 8, and I'm like, oh boy, this is not going well. And actually, what I did is, because that was going to be my only opportunity to it's the first time I've ever been to an LPGA Tour event. And no offense to you, but I look over here and I've got Lee Six, and I can't think of the other girls. There were 2 other girls that were with her, and they're playing. I'm like, oh well, you know what? Let me just slip over here. You're literally on the next hole. So I just walked over. I was like, well, I'll just wander around with them. And so I just kind of wanted to see some players. I've never been to an LPGA event. And interestingly, there were no spectators.
Right.
allowed, so it was kind of quiet. And so I just sort of followed them for a bit, and then bebop, and then came back and found you while you were making the turn. I'm give me some idea though of, did you feel the game still played? I mean, like I mentioned, you had a birdie early on in your second round. You were, I think, one under even at the turn. I mean, did you feel like you there were some glimpses of still being able to play?
Oh yeah, for sure. And Jake made a good point to me. He said, afterwards, he said, Meredith, he said, you hit the ball really good. I got a new driver, 3-wood, 5-wood. I'm playing with 9-year-old irons.
Right.
And so I don't hit my irons very far, and especially with them being older. I just, and I hit some really, really good shots. It's just little things that, show that I hadn't been playing in a while. And then the second day, I missed one fairway, and which cost me a penalty shot. It was down in the stick rough. I'd take it unplayable. And then I missed a green, and it was down in this, the face of this bunker. I barely see the ball. I tried to hit it and missed it, and tried to hit it again. I take it unplayable. So I didn't play bad. I made some really good up and downs. But it's just, little things from not playing all the time. But, overall, and even one of the other girls that I was playing with, even she had said, your short game's really good. And she said, do you practice a lot? I said, no, not really. I mean, I'll do drills with the kids and stuff, but I don't, I have a real job and real responsibility. So, I don't exactly take hours out of my day to just go practice. But, overall, I did some really good things. So
tell me about, you were playing with Louise Ritterstrom, and you were playing with an amateur, 14-year-old Avery Zweig. And I've got to imagine that's got to be an interesting sort of dichotomy there. You've got a UCLA grad 5 years ago who's kind of grinding away on the tour. You've been there. You were there, 9, 10, 11 years ago. She's kind of in that mode. And then you've got a youngster who is, has dreams of making it onto the LPGA tour at some point, who's got a lot of swagger and a lot of confidence as she plays. What was that like, sort of interacting with the two of them?
They were both really cool. Louise, I didn't know at all. But she was awesome. We got along great. And then Avery, 14-year-old, obviously she's got an amazing game, but, she's, being a golfer, she's grown up around adults, and so she was very mature, and she was very inquisitive, and, not to the point of like being annoying, but she was asking great questions about, my game and Louise's game, and how did you do this and how did you do that? So, it was really, really cool because, you can see where she's going to be. Well, she already is a great player, but where she's going to be a really great player as an adult. And, just her maturity and being able to kind of be around. And I think it was a perfect pairing for her because me and Louise both talked the whole time.
Well,
and we didn't mind talking to her and stuff.
And not for nothing, Meredith, but you're a golf coach.
Well, yeah, that too.
Right. So, literally that had to feel somewhat comfortable for you. Now, your players are typically not 14. They're going to be a little bit older than that, but not much.
Right.
It had to feel somewhat comfortable for you. You could kind of slip into the kind of, not necessarily that you're coaching her or anything, but certainly you can relate because that is what you're used to dealing with.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, she, anybody that plays at that level, whether it's basketball, golf, baseball, whatever, anybody that plays at that level when you're playing against, a real grown-ups, quote, you have to have a certain level of maturity. So she was really cool to play with, and it was really easy, and the conversation flowed with her caddy, our caddy. Everything just flowed really nice.
I did mention to you, did you try to recruit her? Tell her, hey, why don't you come finish out high school over here in Shreveport?
Well, I kind of was trying to recruit her to play basketball.
There you go.
Which everybody specializes nowadays. But I was like, man, come on, you play basketball? Come on, like you got to have some handles. You got to be able to shoot the ball. What? And she's like, no, I don't play anything else.
Well, my question is,
So,
would she be allowed to play with 2 gloves on the basketball court?
Oh, I don't know.
That was
kind of a faux pas.
that was unusual. The 2 gloves. I mean, she wore 2 gloves the entire time on all of her full swings, which is unusual. I mean, literally, there's one guy I can think of, and that's Tommy 2 Gloves.
Right.
You know, I mean that was kind of interesting. Did you ask her about that at all?
Well, yeah, I asked her, and she said because we were sweating so much, she just put the 2 on. Which sometimes in the heat, I'll put on my single rain glove, but I mean, the only time I'm ever going to wear 2 is if it's pouring down raining and I'm playing in the British Open.
There you go.
That's probably about it. But no, she was really cool, and she's playing like a full schedule. I mean, she's playing 30 weeks of the year or something crazy.
That's wild. I'm curious because you mentioned the field didn't fill up in the traditional sense of current players. The course had taken a lot of damage from weather the last couple of months. It wasn't it was amazing that they got it in the shape that they did to play. And then obviously there's some heat issues and kind of where it is on the schedule. So there were a lot of players who didn't play. So we did see some older players, some veterans like yourself. Did you see some folks that you played with that you got to kind of rekindle the camaraderie with?
Yeah, I did. I played a practice round with Christy McPherson, who's one of my good friends. She played at South Carolina, and we've known each other since junior golf, through college golf, and through professional golf. So I got to play with her, and then got to see a couple other good friends that are still out there, and so it was really, really cool. I mean, I got to reconnect with a lot of people on tour that I hadn't seen, and it was really, really nice.
Well, and you got some love on the Golf Channel as well. You were just happened to be in the right group on the Thursday round. You were late in the day, and that's when their coverage was, and they were following Zweig, and so followed you for a bit, and Morgan Pressel, who got to mention that she knew you. I mean, I'm assuming she would have been just coming into the tour kind of at the same time you were moving out, but she mentioned
I think her rookie year. I think her rookie year was my second or third year.
Okay, so y'all were pretty contemporary. So I imagine that was cool. And look, you got a lot of love on the Golf Channel. That was pretty awesome.
I did. That was pretty cool. And I got to see Cowboy Mouth.
Yes, you did see Cowboy Mouth. As a matter of fact,
me knowing you finally paid off.
It's about time. Well, look, you've had to carry me through so many scrambles at this point. So there you go. Play a little Cowboy Mouth for him, Rogers. There you go. Right, don't get us kicked off, Rogers. There you go.
Yeah.
So you went to a Cowboy Mouth concert between your first and second round. So I go out to the tee box, and you go, hey, check out my ball marker. And you had glued 2 Cowboy Mouth guitar picks around a quarter, and that was your ball mark for the. And by the way, I texted that to Fred, and he thought it was amazing. So
I mean, I'm pretty smart,
Well, clearly that was the reason why you got off to the good start.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But also,
definitely the best ball mark on the course.
How do you just have glue handy?
Well, you don't. You have to ask around.
Oh, so you had to go find glue to do this, to make this happen?
Yeah, I asked everybody in the clubhouse, in the pro shop, behind the bar, Finally, some lady was like, oh, I think I have a hot glue gun. I said, okay, great.
She's over there doing macrame or like putting did you do like a macaroni necklace while you were there, while you had the
totally
glue gun?
Did.
That's
totally did. I made you one.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll wear it with pride. I am curious though, is this something is this a one-off for you, or is this something that you go, maybe next year, or maybe sometime down the road, if these sort of circumstances come back up, maybe I'll do this again?
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely thinking about it. See what the schedule looks like for next year. Like I said, coaching basketball, we normally play all through June in practice, and then with David playing baseball, he'll be graduating from high school, and so it's definitely something I'd like to keep in the back of my head. Maybe to do next year, and then who knows? I mean, the senior tour starts at 45, and I'm 41, so they don't have just a ton of events, but they have, a dozen events or so. So, you never know by the time that comes around. Who knows? But I mean, I'm definitely not ruling it out for sure.
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, look, it was a blast seeing you, and I know you probably felt good that you didn't have to try to carry me on a scramble team for once. I know that had to make you feel better.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, but it was awesome to see, and congrats on going out there. And look, if nothing else, proving a point to your girls and the boys on your golf teams that, hey, you can still go compete. By the way, do you still beat them regularly?
I would like to think so. I think the last time I played with 3 of them, I think I beat them.
Yeah.
But it's pretty close. Like, it's pretty close. They're not bad.
Well, that's
not bad at all.
Well, let's hope so, because that's a reflection on you at this point.
Yeah.
Hey, it was awesome. It was awesome to see, Meredith. Congratulations. And look, I certainly hope you get a chance to get back out on the tour or the senior tour and play a little bit more. It'd be cool to watch.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming out to watch too. I really appreciate it.
You got it, Meredith. Good to talk to you. And by the way, I'm sure scramble season is soon, so be ready.
Yeah, it's Cowboy Mouse season. Sorry.
Oh well, it is also scramble season, so just be ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
See
anytime.
All right, bye. Meredith Duncan, the Byrd golf coach, who made her way onto the LPGA Tour for a round.